All right, afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. It's Sunday uh, afternoon, and so far everything's looking pretty okay, I guess, in the markets. We did get a little bit of a spike in Bitcoin, so let's take a look and see what we got going on. After what happened on Friday, I thought maybe the markets might be showing some serious trouble, but currently we're not looking too bad. So let's take a look at it. All right, first up, it's going to be Bitcoin. All right, so let's get into Bitcoin. And Bitcoin, as you can see, we got a gap up here from this close here on Friday. We gapped up, and so we're set to open up around this area here on Bitcoin, which puts us about 93,000. We hit a high of 95,705. So we'll see what happens with that come Monday morning, if we're going to open up and continue higher, or if we're going to pull back and close this window and then maybe go back and retest. All right, but currently we have a new window open in Bitcoin, and I think that it just wanted to get back up above this 88,000 area where it would have been, a resistance area. So now, instead of it being a resistance area, we gapped up and made it a support area. So that's going to be an area that needs to be, of course, reconciled at some point. All right. So we have to see what happens with this area here on Bitcoin, because, of course, we know that gaps need to be filled, or open windows need to be shut, or whatever you want to call it. It's an area of interest for sure now. Back down into here. All right. Next up is oil, and oil is continuing to push up a little bit higher into the $70 range. We got this nice green bar here that closed on Friday at $70.48. So it looks like we want to continue higher to retest this resistance area here at 71.61. We got our moving averages coming over to act as resistance also. So be careful with oil, and most likely we're going to retest this area here, and we'll see if we fail or continue higher. All right, but currently it's got a lot of overhead resistance in oil. Next up is gold. And gold also is trying to get back up through this 2800 area, but of course it's run into some trouble in here. It's got a bit of resistance here, because this support area now is turning into some resistance area. As we know, it was support here, and we were running in this channel or this range, but then once we broke down below, now it's becoming resistance. All right, so we have to see what happens. Got our moving averages rolling over, so if they come over, and if we get a roll over and force down, we're still in the up market though on gold, so we can't count it out just yet. But we may be coming back down into here to retest this support area before going back up and trying to get through here. In which case, if we do come back down into here, then this is going to be our new range, and we'll delete all this out of here, and we only want to buy low and sell high until we get a confirmation that we're going to continue higher. Okay, so keep an eye on that. If we do come back down into here on the gold and find some support in here, then this is going to be our new range. Okay, and buy low, sell high. All right, next up is natural gas, and same thing with natural gas. I think we kind of hitting our 50% point on this move up in here, which means we're going to have some resistance in here. If we come back down into here, then look for some support, and then a retest, and that'll be our range on this one between here and here. All right, on natural gas. But currently it's starting to show a little bit of weakness in natural gas, even though we are in an up market, showing some weakness. Okay. Next up, and this was our previous high, or a high at one point, and so our support area looks like it's probably more down in here than there, so we have to use this one as more of a range area. Actually, between here and this whole thing in here is a range area for natural gas. So we could pop down in here a little bit, but still go higher. So we'll see what happens when that comes back down here, if it does come back down here, where it finds us support, and then we'll adjust our support area as need be. Next up is the NASDAQ, and the NASDAQ popped down through this support area here, had a close below it. Now it's trying to retest and go higher. It got rejected at about 221,000. Got rejected in this area here, and we'll have to see what happens coming into the morning. But be careful with the NASDAQ also looking kind of weak in this area. But we do have the 150, which looked like it caught as support, and the 200s coming up to also act as support. But they're starting to kind of go a little bit flat, so we have to see if there's any strength in here, if they can continue to push higher. And that's going to depend on whether or not this stock comes down and sucks it back up in there and sucks it higher, or we get more trading coming in. But it's actually looking like it's getting kind of weak in this area. So let's give it a day or two, see how this is going to work out, and then we'll go from there. But currently the NASDAQ is looking kind of weak. Even our MACD hasn't even rolled up yet. Our MACD is still facing downward, so we may still have some selling pressure in the NASDAQ. Next up is silver, and silver is finding some support in this area here at $31, and but we got our moving averages rolling over to act as resistance. We got this overhead resistance area here here. So keep an eye on that. We're definitely in an up market still, but we got some overhead resistance coming down and some simple moving averages that are going to act as downward pressure. So we're currently in an up market, but we're looking not so bullish, somewhat bearish. All right. So look for volume on Monday and Tuesday. If we don't get it, then be careful. We may be continuing to sell off in the silver. Next up is the Y-mini, Dow Jones Industrial, and got a little. Friday was a little bit of a turnaround. So we got a little bit of a push up, so we might have a little bit of a follow through on the Dow, but then we also have to be careful with this 20-day rolling over to act as resistance. And there's not a whole lot of volume coming in at the moment, so we have to watch out for that with the Dow. There's some resistance in this area for sure up here, so if we can't get a close and push up above this bar and back up into here, most likely we're going to continue to sell off in the Dow. But currently it looks like the Dow is trying to push a little higher, but still has some weakness. Got our moving averages coming up to support, so look for some support in this area. Maybe a little bit of a range war. If that doesn't work out, and whatever way we decide to break is the way we're headed. And we'll see how it works out through this month, because I know that I'm getting into tax season, and we're also getting into tariff season, so be careful with that as well. Next up is the corn futures, and corn is pulling back a little bit. We had a nice push up higher, and then ran into some trouble at about 505 up here, and then now we're selling off, coming back down here to our trade wins, and looking for some support in this area here. Most likely this support here is probably should be here. All right, at about 469. So we'll see if that holds on. We got a pre-market on the 2-minute chart. We got a little bit of a double bounce in this area, so this may be our support area here around $450. All right, so we'll see what happens when the market opens on Monday. But currently, corn is still in an up moving market, but just a little bit of a pullback or a sell off. All right, looking for some support in here to continue higher to retest this previous high, which this is now our new high is going to be 505.25. Okay. All right, and that's our new range. You can get rid of that. Okay, and corn futures. So if this holds up down in here, then this will be our buy low and our sell high here, and that'll be our range. Okay, so keep an eye on corn. If it does break down, then we'll reassess. That's all I got for now. Thanks for stopping by. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and be ready for the next one when it comes out. It's not far away. All right. So that's it for our rundown for the start of the week of March. Heading into the new week of March trading. Our new month of March trading. Alright, so like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and be ready for the next one. And be careful out there, these markets are crazy.